Welcome to TradeTheNBA.com. This is Sean's report is for the 22nd, and well, more saber rattling, as you'd like to say, back and forth with the Russian thing. And as I pointed out, obviously, if you're looking at apocalyptic situations, might as well buy the market because there wouldn't be anything left anyway. So that wall of fear pushes things forward. So interesting day though too, because we went all the way to the ABM green and then straight to the ABM yellow. Stayed just underneath it, but we did get that crossover from the magenta, so that puts things back in, and you can see shorts completely faded. You also got the crossover of blue over gray. So these are all positives, and there it was, the DOC. Once that continues, that straight line, you pretty much get that stabilization effect, particularly when you cross that situation with steel. That's reinforcement for the strength of the long side of things. And shakeout has turned around back to the positive. So everything has leveled out, and the resurgence, we had the post election bump, the fade back off of it, and now back into the normal build of things. NASDAQ readings fairly identical. Treasuries still unable to do much of anything at this particular stage, or was sort of caught in a malaise, unable to decide what to do or how to do it. Fed's crippled at this particular stage. From an oil standpoint, again, continuing its push, and I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. You're just going to have more continued pressure because nobody knows the outcome of how much supply is going to be squeezed. It really becomes relative to economic growth to a degree, but as long as you have existential deficits, you're in a situation where there's no alternative but to have commodities continue their rapid climb. This has been a pretty decent pullback from oil, but overall, still the limitations with restrictions and that until things open up. But now, as they get closer to Trump, that could change. But we'll see if they believe the rhetoric. And there's also going to be a time lag between it, a significant one, no less. Euro, yeah, it's continuing its fade, and not a surprise. We can expect that this is going to be problematic. They have even discussed a solution or what to do in dealing with Trump, let alone what's going on within the Russia situation, because they're the ones who are likely to suffer any of the side effects. I think it's just an indication that the Euro situation could become catastrophic. Not too distant future if they don't step in at a certain point here and try and stabilize it, because and they may choose not to. The Fed has other things that they're thinking of. When we look at it from a gold standpoint, yeah, no shock there. Gold, Bitcoin, obviously tapping its peak too. These are all relative answers to the fact that the government spending is just out of control and there's no stopping it anytime soon. And with that reality, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens with this Doge setup and whether that will change anything. We'll wait and see. No rush. And there she is, Bitcoin, reaching new altitude, and it did top 100K, even for just a brief moment. A lot of positive extremes within this, so as soon as the exuberance wears a little bit, we could see some softening, but overall the trajectory is fairly clear. Turning to the 50K, well, it's pretty clean right here from the standpoint of we had the magenta leading, and it created the new high, but then broke back down with a crossover underneath. That led to a little bit of balancing, but really didn't have much of an MBI white move until a little bit later, but that was with strong magenta, and so that was your forced short covering that really pushed things up to the peak. If we get another rise of MBI white back above it, then we would see a bit more of a retrace coming back down into that potentially 50% move here, but that's going to take some more significant breakdown. And we'll continue to follow that, but that it's fairly clean within the ranges. When we look at it from an intraday 5-minute chart here, this morning news situations where they get these sudden attacks and, references to the Russia situation that starts to calm down. And then by the cash open, it was ready to climb. And it was pretty much clean pretty much throughout the entire day. A little fade off towards the end, just filled back. There was just like one positive extreme. So all been pretty strong as far as uh, money flowing in. And you're going to get that, particularly when you get some managers behind because they decided to go cash to wait things out for the election. This, that, they're now they got a repeat chance at it. Are they going to miss it as well? And then you get into December where they're all trying to, cover to try and catch up to match the numbers of the S&P, and that always gets fun going in there. So volatility, baby, is still the way to go at this particular stage. You just got to go with readings. As always, we look for any trend run, but something relevant. I'll put it on the Skype chat. Have a good one. Trade well.